Fresh off her announcement that she's running for governor of South Carolina, Congresswoman Nancy Mace joined the ranks of Republican lawmakers holding town halls this week. What kind of reception did she receive, and what did she tell you?
Yeah, hardly the Lion's Den. Look, this was a veteran-owned business. I actually talked to the owners there. They don't typically hold any kind of political events, but because of Mace's background, she has a good relationship with the owner. They said, okay, we'll let you have it here. The thing is, though, they were worried about agitators, and maybe that's part of the reason why the police there, Mace's team, started kicking out anybody who was visibly going to be against her message.
On Wednesday, Nancy Mace joined the ranks of a small number of Republican members of Congress who have dared to hold a town hall this summer. While some of her colleagues, like Mike Flood in Nebraska and French Hill in Arkansas, have actually faced the music and listened to voters boo them to their faces, Nancy Mace took a different route. At an event where she claimed to take questions from anyone, even Democrats, members of her team kicked people out. One couple even felt so uncomfortable that they left after getting glares for not clapping. Congresswoman, it's not really a town hall if you're restricting it only to people who agree with you. That's not called going into the lion's den. That's called playing ostrich, sticking your head in the sand and refusing to face reality. So while Republicans run scared after screwing over the middle class with their budget bill, Democrats are using this August recess to press the advantage. We're holding our own town halls and showing the country how it's actually done. I'm Hannah Moldavan, Deputy Communications Director for the Democrats and your host for today. It's Monday, August 11th, and this is the Democrats' Daily Blueprint. It's crystal clear. Americans aren't buying what Republicans are selling this summer. Maybe because they're already tightening their wallets thanks to Trump's trade war. All across the country, inflation and layoffs are going up while job growth is going down. Even Arizona iced tea, which has stayed the same price, 99 cents, for nearly 3 decades, has warned that it might have to increase prices due to Trump's aluminum tariffs. So with costs going up and millions of Americans feeling anxious about the economy, are Republicans focused on making it better? No. They're doubling down on the chaos. They're talking about cutting even more from Medicaid because apparently $911 billion wasn't enough. After letting Trump walk all over them during the first round of tariffs, Republicans haven't said a peep about the new ones, preferring to stick Americans with the bill rather than oppose Trump's chaos. And if that wasn't bad enough, here's the cherry on top. Republicans are back home for the entire month of August and being asked to sell this shit sandwich with a smile. That disconnect between what Americans are actually feeling and what Republicans have done in response is why you're seeing hundreds of pissed off voters showing up to town halls. From South Carolina to Nebraska to Arkansas and Wisconsin, the few Republicans that actually have held events have gotten absolutely roasted at them. And it's not like the White House is giving them much cover. Trump even brags that he doesn't really have to sell this bill. Bold move. We'll see if it works out for him. And as for J.D. Vance, he's on vacation. Yes, again, just days after Trump went on a $10 million taxpayer-funded golf vacation at his property in Scotland, Vance is back in the UK, chumming it up in English mansions and in places where there are more Range Rovers than pickup trucks. It's spectacularly tone deaf for a guy who was cheering on as Trump signed a budget bill to kick 17 million Americans off their health care and strip food assistance from up to 22 million families. But that's the thing. While Vance is on vacation and Republicans are running scared, Democrats are using the month of August to deliver for their communities. Democrats like Senator Tammy Baldwin, who launched a statewide tour throughout Wisconsin to engage with businesses affected by Trump's trade war.
Senator Tammy Baldwin connected with Hinterland co-founder and CEO Bill Tressler about the impact tariffs are having on items like aluminum to make cans and barley to make beer. Other business leaders joined and shared similar stories of uncertainty and frustration when it comes to having to increase their prices, mostly without much warning.
Democrats are going on offense, like Senator Mark Kelly, who days after participating in a town hall in Colorado, where the local congressman had bailed, hosted his own town hall in Tucson along former Social Security Commissioner Martin O'Malley.
Senator Mark Kelly saying President Donald Trump's new law is going to hurt people who get health insurance through the Affordable Care Act.
They're going to lose coverage. because they're not going to be able to pay their premiums.
Arizona's Medicaid program says there are over 1.9 million Arizonans who use their program. Kelly says about 300,000 would be kicked off under President Trump's big, beautiful bill.
You're going to have a sicker population. And to treat those people later when they're sicker, it's at a higher cost.
Here's the bottom line. Democrats are the ones who are in their community day in and day out. We're putting in the work, talking to people and answering questions. Why? Because we know it's an essential part of the job. That's what you do in a representative democracy. Republicans, they're clearly comfortable with taking shortcuts, hiding from public criticism, and trying to tilt the game in their favor to stay in power. So if you're sitting there watching and asking yourself, how can I get involved? Then we've got great news. We're hosting a ton of events throughout the rest of August at a place near you. You can sign up at democrats.org/takeaction to join us at a town hall or a community roundtable, to talk to fellow Democrats who are putting in the work, and to build back political power to actually improve the lives of all the Americans that Republicans have left behind. Thanks for joining us today for this episode of the Daily Blueprint. We'll be here right with you every day at 10 a.m. Eastern on the DNC's YouTube page. Until tomorrow.